Hello, I'm Pastor Jeremy Combs, and we're going to pause for a proverb. Let's go. Proverbs chapter 10 and verse number 2. Treasures of wickedness profit nothing. Righteousness delivereth from death. Aesop had a fable about a dog that had a big, beautiful bone in its mouth. While crossing a bridge, the dog, of course, looked down into the reflection and saw another dog with an even bigger bone. Quickly, the dog opened his mouth to try to quickly snatch away the other dog's bone, only to see his bone fall into the water and sink to the bottom. The moral is simple. Don't give up what you have trying to get something that you think is better. For a believer, the big, beautiful bone we carry is wisdom. We must hold on to it. We must recognize that nothing is better. The world has a lot of illusions that is often from foolish living to money to friends, fame, and boy, you could name a lot more, could we not? The only way to receive these illusions of the world is to let go of what we already possess. If we're not careful, by the time we come to our senses, we will have given up everything for absolutely nothing. Wisdom gives life, and it will deliver you from death. Verse 3, the Lord will not suffer the soul of the righteous to famish, but he casteth away the substance of the wicked. What is your greatest need today? Well, many answers may come to mind, like food, health, money, or maybe even safety. Whereas there's nothing wrong with any of these requests, they all focus on the physical side of life. We live in a world that is fixated on physical needs. The Lord doesn't promise to meet our physical needs in this verse, but rather our spiritual. Notice the word soul. We are spiritual beings living in physical bodies, but our greatest need today is spiritual. John Phillips says the spiritual man is more concerned with his soul than with his substance. The wicked man is more concerned with his substance rather than his soul. The Lord promised that the righteous soul shall not be famished. In other words, if you come to God hungry for spiritual things, then you will be fed. On the other hand, those who come to God with wicked or ungodly desires, they're going to be turned away. So, what prayers will you bring before God today? Let's look at one more, and that would be verse number 4. He becometh poor that dealeth with a slack hand, but the hand of the diligent maketh rich. The mighty Roman armies were easily defeated by the Goths. Why? Well, history tells us they grew lethargic and at first quit simply practicing drills. Once an activity became common, they no longer saw the need to wear the heavy armor. They discarded the breastplates, then their mail, and finally their helmets. When they went to battle, the Goths, they were easily cut down by the archers because of what was missing, their armor. One general wrote, although there were many disasters which led to the loss of great cities, no one tried to restore the army to the infantry. They took their armor off, and when the armor came off, so too came off their integrity. Dealing with a slack hand begins small and goes unnoticed until finally you find yourself broke. Diligence, too, begins with small strides, but eventually is noted only after great gains. Each decision is like a dividend. Invest in diligence today, and I'll tell you this, it will pay off for you tomorrow. Hey, thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.